Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode on the Farm Fit YouTube channel. This one will not be about fitness. This one will pertain more to the farming side of the channel. And you can tell that because of my neat plaid shirt. I'm trying to be in the mood. I don't typically wear these kind of shirts on the farm, although sometimes I do. But I thought it'd be fitting, at least for the purposes of this video. This is also a bit of a PSA. People need to stop trespassing onto farmers' properties. It has to stop. It has to come to an end. This is one that hits home with me for a couple of reasons, one of which I'll get into a little bit later. But on my way from home to work, we live in a rural area. Okay. I drive by a lot of fields. And depending on the season, depending on the year, it'll depend on what crops are there. It'll be a mix of soybeans, corn, wheat, and in this case, canola. Now, the thing about canola is around this time of year, which is beginning of July, end of June, beginning of July typically, canola will bloom. And when it blooms into a beautiful yellow. And that yellow is spread throughout the field. And in my areas, those aren't small fields. They're 100 acres, 150 acres. So they look great and they kind of stretch off into the horizon, and they'll either be met by a windmill or a tree line or literally just go off and look like they're meeting the horizon. It's a great visual. And it's a great opportunity to take pictures. And it's not uncommon for me to drive by people that have pulled over to the side of the road and are taking pictures from the shoulder of the road. That's fine. This video isn't about you. This video is about the people that think it's okay to wander into a farmer's field and take selfies in that field. One, it's trespassing, which is illegal. And two, you're destroying crops. And I see this come up on Facebook. I drive by it on my way to and from work. It's everywhere. And it's generally people that aren't from the area that are going to or from the cottage that think, oh, this will be a great shot for Instagram. Or I can make a cool TikTok of this, of my hand going through the canola like Gladiator when he dies at the end of the movie. I guess I could have said spoiler alert, but that movie's like 20 years old. So if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, I guess. They just made a sequel to it, for crying out loud. It's not okay because it's not okay for the reasons that you wouldn't want somebody to wander into your house and start taking pictures on your couch. Like, imagine you were just sitting in your living room and some guy was like, "Oh, that's a really nice house." And they just like walked up onto your deck and started taking pictures in front of your front door. Like, "Oh, we really like the door. So we just thought we would take this picture and use the Rolling Stones songs, Paint It Black, because it's a black door." It kind of fit what we were going for. It's not okay. And I see this get posted on Facebook and the comments are hilarious. I can't share them here because the post was taken down and then it was later re-uploaded without comments, because some of the coping in the comments killed me. People saying, well, it's not a big deal. We're not destroying a lot of the crop. Or a canola plant is more than zero. That's a lot. That's enough. Because those farmers are using that as their income. They're using it to feed their family. And you go traipsing through there and destroy any amount of that, that's lost yield for them. That's lost income. And farmers, especially cash crop farmers, already operate on a thin margin when you consider the inputs of the crop, the fertilizer, the herbicide, the pesticide, the time, the energy, the manpower just to plant, cultivate, harvest, seed, not in that order obviously. There's a lot of input into that field. So you walking through half an acre and destroying that crop takes money out of their pocket. And all for what? For a neat selfie that you can post with your girlfriend and post to social media just so you can get a cool cover shot for your Facebook page. And now I'm really showing my age. Like, it's not worth it. And it's so blatant. And then when you pull over to yell at these people and be like, get out of that guy's field, they'll give you attitude like you're bothering them. No, you're breaking the law. Ontario, where I live, has some pretty cut and dried rules when it comes to trespassing. There's more stringent ones when it comes to trespassing where animals are. I'm not going to get into those today. That'll be a later video. But in this case, don't wander into people's fields to take selfies. It's not cool. And B, be grateful we live in Ontario, because if you did that in like Texas, you'd get shot. That's just, you know. And then if some guy does come out of his house to fire off a warning shot, that's illegal for him. Don't do that either. I'm not advocating for that, but that's the line. That's where it goes. So where this ties into me is one of our fields backs onto a side road that's become quite busy over the years. And we've had people trespass in there and take corn when we had corn, which, by the way, hilarious, because no one that knows the area and knows that corn would do that, because these people they see a cornfield, nice, greenish cornfield. My favorite is when it's not green and when it's toward the end of its cycle. And they go, oh, I'm just going to take a cob and take it home and cook it. Spoiler alert, that ain't human corn. That's not going to be nice and soft when you try to cook it and bite into it. That's feed corn. That's going to ethanol plants. That's doing anything except feeding a person. So when you bite into it, I hope you have a good dental plan, because it's going to hurt. We had one guy, our neighbor told us this. He pulled over to the side of the road. He walked into the field with a turkey decoy, set the turkey decoy down, waited for a turkey to come out, shot it, and left. Like, what? None of this is okay. The whole point of this video is just to let people know, don't do it. And I feel like the people that subscribe to this channel know well enough not to, and the people that follow me on social media have enough common sense not to do it. And I doubt this video will get enough circulation where it needs to for those people to know. Because if you're watching this video and you're getting defensive thinking it's not that big of a deal, you're the problem. It's on you. If you're listening to this video and agreeing with me, then obviously I'm not talking about you. But if your conscience is guilty and you're sitting there going, well, I just wanted a selfie, you're the problem. You need to stop, because it's not good. So yeah, I'm the fun police maybe, but I'm also a farmer. I'm a third generation farmer. I live in a farming community. I have plenty of friends and family that are farmers. And this is a major pain in the ass. So knock it off. This isn't going to be my only PSA. I have a list of ones that I've wanted to work my way through, but this one comes up every year, and I wrote a story on it when at the radio station that I work at. I wrote a story about this 2 years ago that I thought was only last year, 3 years ago, 2022, and it comes up every single year. And it's come up again this year. So I'm taking the time now to talk about it and to complain about it. And if you want to call me the fun police, fine, so be it. But you know what? It's not fun when that farmer has to go harvest that crops and he's lost a portion of it because people wanted to go get a selfie with the girlfriend that's going to cheat on them with the captain of the football team, and they're going to have to take the picture down in 2 years anyways. Anyways, that's all I have for today. I'm sorry it's such a downer. I promise that my next video will be a little bit more happy. Thanks, everybody.